Hello, friends. Welcome to a podcast unlike any other. It is the Bunkered podcast previewing the 2026 Masters Tournament. Hello, thank you very much for tuning in. I am Michael McEwen. Finally, it's here, the first men's major of the year, and we are all rather excited. Listen, if you're a long-time listener of the Bunkered podcast, you'll know by now how much the Masters gets my juices flowing. You'll also notice that I am not at Augusta this week, whatever you prefer. I am currently in Dundee, which is it's twinned with Augusta, parts of it. Bigger seagulls. But yes, I'm going to be here all week. We do have people on the ground. Josh Lees, our man, is going to be out there this week covering all of the events. So there will be bunkered representation out there. But I am here because, well, I have other things I need to attend to. And frankly, I've been to the Masters 5 times. I think it's time to share the love. Two men not feeling that love this year are sitting right next to me. Performance editor Lewis Fraser and gear editor James Tate. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
How are we feeling? We excited about Masters Week?
Yeah, I think we were just saying before, like, when it gets to the Monday morning of Masters Week, that's when it kind of all hits you. So yeah, I'm pretty buzzing for it.
Excellent.
Really I think when you start seeing the live from the range sessions coming in, oh god, that's going to be a hard word to say. That's when it really starts to kind of like, right, it's happening this week. But yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait to sit down and watch it. It's going to be great.
It certainly is. So if you are listening along on Spotify, remember you can join the conversation at any time. Leave a comment on the episode and we'll go back in and we'll respond to those comments. Equally though, if you are watching the show on YouTube, youtube.com/bunkered, have a look around. You'll notice there's plenty of Masters Easter eggs, including this NFL ball right here, Masters Green. I'm not going to say how much that costs because my wife likes to listen to this part of the show, and the number I told her will be different from the number I tell you guys. But plenty of Masters merch for you to enjoy as you are watching. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting Masters, gentlemen. Before we get into what we usually do at this point, which is we'll look at some of the names that we're expecting to contend, some of the big storylines that we're excited about. It would be utterly remiss of me not to point out a couple of the places that you can find our content this week. So our Masters Hub is live and up and running. That's on the Bunkered website. So bunker.co.uk/golf-news /the-Masters. Better yet, just go to the homepage, scroll down a bit, and you'll soon find it. So that is where you'll get all the latest news from the Masters, features, all that kind of stuff. Dig in and enjoy. Equally, if you want all of the latest news from Augusta, most of it compiled by our man Josh, then make sure you sign up for our email newsletter. That has been rebranded in Masters Green, as you might expect for this week. You can get that on the website as well. Go to bunker.co.uk, sign up, and you will get all of the latest news, all of the latest analysis, insight direct from the grounds themselves in your inbox at 6:30 every single morning. Right, with that said, gents, let's dig in. Masters preview time. First and foremost, what are you both expecting from this week? Because, well, it probably can't live up to last year's Masters, can it? Or can it? We got genuine golf history last year.
No. I think we got extremely spoiled last year. I think what we saw was some insane golf shots. Probably once in a lifetime. I don't really see anyone doing the Grand Slam anytime soon. To be fair,
they can't do it this week.
No, exactly. So, but yeah, I think what we witnessed and saw Rory do last year was unbelievable. But I just feel like this year it's going to be a little bit different somehow, and I think it's just going to be quite wide open.
Yeah, wide open is probably the right way of putting it, and I think we'll talk more about some of the contenders for the green jacket in a wee while, but. Lewis, obviously, James is right. It's a different start to the week. Masters Week for the last 10 years plus has started with excitement and speculation about, is this going to be Rory's year? Well, it was last year. So now going into it with a lot of different storylines, conflicting storylines, but not that one overarching big storyline.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? I still think Rory is probably like one of the biggest stories, but it's a completely different outlook on it now, in that you think, well, he's been he's gone and done it last year, and as James alluded to, the most ridiculous fashion ever.
Most Rory
And
fashion.
even if he goes and wins again, like, it's still not going to be quite the same because he's done it already, and he won't have a final. He won't have a round of golf like his final round ever again. So the only way, from our point of view, from a very like parochial Scottish point of view, that could live up to it is if Bob McIntyre puts a green jacket on Sunday night.
And we'll examine his chances in a little while as well.
Course,
but
even then, it's not going to be quite the same level of drama. And I think we kind of spoke about it last year, like the way that when Rory was doing what he was doing, that it felt like the whole world was watching him at the same time, whether you're really a sport fan or not. So I struggle to see how we'd get to those levels again.
Last year was a transcendent moment. There's no question about that. Also, Lewis, can I just add, it's really good of you to come dressed in tribute to the caddies this week.
Yes,
this
that's
little
what I've
white
done.
number.
Yep,
Very, very impressive. Like that.
I'm not going to play anytime soon, so I'm trying to be a caddy.
Have a word with my man, No Pin Glenn. We'll see if we can sort it.
Yes, of course.
Look,
there we go.
Let's deal with the obvious first. As I said, we're going to talk about the players who do have a chance of winning the green jacket. There's a couple who have no chance of winning it, but have won 8 green jackets between them. No Tiger, no Phil for the first time since 1994. To put that into some kind of context, there are 91 players in the field this week. 45, almost precisely half, 45 weren't even born the last time there was a Masters without Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. Now, they are both missing for, how do we put this, personal reasons, different reasons, but personal reasons. Tiger, we're led to believe, is currently in Switzerland getting treatment for his issues. And Phil, well, he's barely played so far in 2026. He played in South Africa on Live a couple of weeks ago, but missed the first 4 events of the Live season.
Yeah.
So, no Phil. He continues to deal with a private family matter as well. What bearing, James, will Tiger and Phil not playing have on the tournament this week, if any?
Well, first of all, it's quite sad that they're both not there, due to obviously their own personal reasons. But I think, there was that build-up of Tiger kind of potentially going to be playing. Whether he actually would have played would have been, a different story. Whether he would have been fit and healthy too. But even maybe not having him on the ground there for the dinner, especially obviously for Rory's dinner as well.
The reopening of the Patch golf course that he's been involved in.
I think it is sad, it is different, but we also have seen Tiger over the last couple of years when he does play, he's in a lot of pain and he does struggle. So I don't think it's not like he was going to be in contention, but I think not having him on the property, I think he will be missed from that side of it. Phil, on the other hand, I think we know Phil Mickelson can do Phil Mickelson things. Like we saw it in 2023 where he kind of made that comeback on the back 9 and finished second along with Brooks Koepka. So, seeing the kind of Phil Mickelson wizardry out of the bunkers from the side of the greens, it is going to be, it will be a bit different this year without having them both there, but obviously we just wish them the best and hope for a speedy recovery.
Yeah, correct. Well said. It's funny, whenever someone says Phil Mickelson, he's finished, he's yesterday's man, as somebody did on our Facebook page over the weekend, Phil hasn't been a factor for over a decade. He won the PGA in 2021, in fairly record-breaking circumstances, and the performance, as you rightly say, James, in 2023. Sorry, he won the PGA in 21. His performance at Augusta in 23, again, a reminder that this guy knows how to golf his ball around that particular golf course. Lewis, this is the first time in your lifetime that there's been a Masters without Tiger and
Quite
Phil.
comfortably in my lifetime. I was born in 98.
All right, okay.
So,
no need to rub it in.
Aye, well, you brought it up, so sorry. Do you know who was Prime Minister when the last time?
Prime Minister, 1994. Oh, John Major.
Yes, well done.
There you go.
Correct.
The greyest man ever to walk the earth.
I'm surprised you remembered him. US
He was a
president.
big grey crane. US president, let me see. 94. Of course. The saxophone playing, intern bothering Bill Clinton. That'll be the one, isn't it?
Known better for the second mention.
And he was a golfer as well.
There.
He liked his golf.
Yeah, so he was elected in 93 and then obviously was president at that time.
Yeah.
Channel Tunnel opened.
The Channel
94,
Tunnel opened
yeah,
in
yeah.
94.
Did it?
Yes, it did.
Goodness me.
I was 5 years old. How old were you?
Shut up. Double figures.
Goodness sake.
Only just.
Only
Only just,
Fair
but double
enough.
figures.
Way off.
Yeah. So yeah,
So,
first time
yeah.
that you're experiencing a Masters without these guys.
Yeah, like James
Quite strange,
said,
is it?
It is quite strange, yeah, to not have either of them, because from like a journalist point of view, like they always bring up stories. Like Tiger in the last few years has been Willie Wonty. Phil has always been, well, usually is, like you say, James, he could be there, and you think you can always shoot a 65 if you get on good form, which he has done stuff like that. I think it's one of those, once the tournament actually gets underway, people won't think about it. Like fans who are watching won't get to Sunday, and if big names are in contention, which they always are in the Masters, you're not going to be thinking, God, I wish it was Phil that was there, or I wish it was Tiger. Certainly I won't be anyway. There might be like some who might tune in to golf once a year and it's the Masters and they want to see Tiger or Phil. But for people who are watching like golf pretty regularly, I don't think it's too much of a factor once it gets going.
Totally right. Everything's a story, and there's a lot of things in people's minds until the golf starts.
Yeah, precisely that. Yeah.
You know, Thursday morning rolls around and people forget about a lot of things they've been talking about for the last 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months. You know, it's, you know, the action takes over as it should.
Yeah, overtakes everything. So yeah, no, it is sad, and like it's probably just a bit of a changing of the guard kind of scenario going on there. But yeah, like you say, once the tournament gets underway on Thursday, we won't think too much about them, I don't think.
Do you think we'll see either of them there again, playing?
We'll see Phil there playing again. I
Yeah.
would be shocked if that wasn't the case. Tiger, yeah, if I had to say like yes or no, I think Tiger will play another Masters, but I'd be more certain on Phil, put it that way.
Okay. So let's talk Rory then. As we touched on at the top of the show, it's going to be a different week for Rory. It's going to be fascinating to see how it unfolds for him. I mean, I've seen Rory go into Masters Week in a whole number of different ways. He's gone in by playing lots of events in the run-up. He's gone in by playing hardly any events in the run-up. He's gone in reading all kinds of deep philosophical books. He's shown up early. He's shown up last minute. Rory has done just about everything that you can possibly do in Masters Week, except go there as defending champion, as he will this week. He's got a lot of different obligations now. We've already seen him on the ground over the weekend at Anwa. We saw him at the drive, chip and putt, and he's going to be busy. Well, this is Monday as we record. He'll be busy on Tuesday night hosting the Champions Dinner, as we know. He's got his press conference as well. Rory is in for a very different kind of week, as every Masters champion is. How do you think he will adapt to that, Lewis?
I think it could be difficult for him. Going there as defending champion, as we know, it's really hard to defend the Masters.
How many have done it?
3.
Who are they?
Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Sir Nicholas Faldo.
Well played.
I think it will be tough for Rory for a couple of reasons. Going there as defending champ, you have a lot of obligations. Like you say, Rory has like all the cameras on him anyway, but that's going to be heightened a lot this week. But then also the fact that you allude to like the preparation that he's had in the past, and the one that worked for him last year was play pretty much as possible and almost win every event that he's played. This year, he's not had that at all, because when he has played, it's not been spectacular, and that's because of his back in the last couple events that he's played. So I'm a bit concerned about that. I think if I had to like predict how it was going to go for him, he's going to struggle to get off to a really fast start, because it's going to be his first competitive round in quite a while, and that's not an easy place
since the
to
Players,
go.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So about a month.
Yeah, and he didn't exactly like play incredibly well there, did he? So obviously, like, relatively speaking, like it was fine, but for Rory's standards, not as well as he'd hoped, certainly in previous years. So yeah, I think it could be tough for him for those 2 reasons, but he'll be going there enjoying it. That's the thing. He's not going with pressure on his back like he has in the last, like you say, last what feels like forever. So
James, do you think that could be a problem for Rory? Because the received wisdom has been that, as it always is with players when they win a major, it's like, oh, well, the floodgates will open and that's the pressure off. But no one seems to have considered the fact that maybe part of the reason that Rory's Masters record is as good as it is, and it's very good, is because he's had the monkey on his back. He's been trying to achieve something. We don't yet know how he'll cope without that pressure, but people are assuming he needs it. sort of that he'll be better because he doesn't have it. What if that is the thing that has lit the fire?
Well, if you look at his kind of track record since he won the Masters, it almost looks like, apart from when he won the Irish Open, that's kind of been it. It does look like he has kind of just like almost taken a big deep breath and a little step back. And he is probably just taking it all in and enjoying it. Going into this week, I think for him, it's going to be massively different. He doesn't have that pressure that he puts on himself to perform at his highest. He'll want to do well, but with all the kind of...
There's no weight of history this week.
Yeah, exactly. But with every kind of way he's kind of getting pulled to do this, that, and the next thing, that's going to take its toll as well. That's going to be quite draining. He's not even like teed up yet. Do you know what I mean? So Thursday when he's teeing off, he might get to the first tee and be like, fucking heck, like I'm absolutely shattered. But if there's one thing that might work in his favor, maybe this week he is just kind of taking it slow, enjoying it, doing everything that he's required to do. And maybe he will play with no weight at all on his shoulder and just feel a little bit freer. We might actually see a Rory McIlroy just doing something like pretty special, or we're going to see Rory McIlroy miss a cup. That's kind of what I think.
Michael,
so that fence has been well and truly sat on there, James.
You're Rory McIlroy's biggest fan,
yes,
Michael.
You are, reportedly.
Yes, on this very podcast, right in this room, many weeks back, you said that he was going to win the Masters and defend it. Do you still think that's the case?
Was that before or after the injury?
That was before.
Yeah, I mean, I think the injury's now just thrown a lot of that into doubt. We don't really know his physical condition. He might not fully know his physical condition, but he hasn't played 4 rounds in 4 days under competitive circumstances in about a month. So, and like you rightly say, he didn't play especially well at Sawgrass.
No.
I don't know if me saying that was more my heart talking than my head. It's probably landed somewhere in between. It was my throat talking. Let's go with that.
Right,
yeah.
Or my esophagus, whatever that is. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, I think that of all of the players who have gone there as a defending champion in the last, maybe, let's say, last 20 years, in fact, let's say since Tiger was the last to successfully defend, I fancy Rory's chances the best.
Yeah.
Because it's taken him, 17, 18 goes to get the job done. So there's nothing more he needs to learn about the course. I don't think there's anything else he actually doesn't know about that golf course, where to hit it, the safe places to go. He now knows that course as intimately as you can possibly know it, but he'll be going there without the burden of history. The only unknown I've got, and it's why I posed that question the way I did to James, is I don't know to what extent the burden of history has been a good thing or a bad thing for him. It's easy to say it's been a bad thing because it's added pressure and that's every year that goes by, it's just another year blown and all that sort of stuff. No one considers the fact that actually maybe that burden, maybe that pressure is a good thing. It sharpens the focus. You don't play as freewheelingly as you might otherwise. Therefore, you're probably less likely to make crazy, silly mistakes. 4 double bogeys last year when he was chasing history would suggest otherwise. But you know what I mean? It's like the idea is that pressure is a bad thing. And I don't know if that is necessarily the case. We're going to find out this week and in maybe the next 3 or 4 Masters to what extent Rory has needed the pressure.
Yeah.
Ready to win? Wouldn't be remotely surprised.
Yeah,
not even slightly surprised. To James's point, I would be much more surprised if he missed the cut than if he won.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, I don't think he's going to miss the cut unless it is like injury related, and that's a problem. But even then, I don't see that happening after the players. Yeah, it's an interesting one about like the pressure because it's what he puts on himself.
So you use pressure.
It's definitely. Like you say, it sharpens the focus. Like playing the back, maybe take the 13th out of the equation, but playing the back 9 there, the pressure that would be on his shoulders would be unbelievable.
Again,
and it's made him play unbelievable shots.
I watched the documentary about him on Amazon, and he spoke. It was either in that documentary or the Masters one on YouTube. I can't remember. I've seen them both over the weekend. And in one of them, he explained the logic behind 13. The fact that they didn't go with driver off the tee. The fact that they knew he and Harry Diamond knew exactly where they were at that part of the tournament, And so they agreed on the tee, let's play it as a 3-shotter. The fact is, Rory just didn't execute a very straightforward wedge shot particularly well. Why? Because he saw the leaderboard and got spooked.
Yep.
So, yeah, okay, maybe that's a little bit of pressure there. So, again, the received wisdom would be that without that pressure, Rory doesn't stick that wedge into Rae's Creek. But it's not as simple as that.
No.
And I think when you're playing for something, no matter how small or big that is, in Rory's case, massive because it's history, the first European to win the career Grand Slam, I think that is much better than going there with less of a reason or less to play for.
Yep.
I mean, it's still a major. It still counts towards your tally. It's still a very important thing to win. And there is that opportunity to become the 4th guy ever to successfully defend it. So that could be the pressure that he goes seeking in order to bring out his best. But yeah, I don't think it is as straightforward as people have made out that, well, now that he's won it once, he's going to win loads of times. No.
Doesn't work like that. No. It's
not
worked for
does.
loads of people in the past, has it? So
Exactly.
Rory's different, but yeah, we'll see. Really interested to see how he does.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it. World number 1, Scottie Scheffler. James, let's talk about Scottie. Well, for a start, he's got the nappy factor in his favour.
Yeah.
He's now a 2-time father, as well as a 2-time Masters champion.
That's funny.
His wife gave birth to another wee boy, Remy.
Yes.
R-E-M-Y, Remy.
Yeah, presumably.
Over the weekend.
Yeah, nice.
Are we going to be seeing little Remy Scheffler on the 18th green on Sunday night, celebrating alongside Big Brother Bennett as Dad brings home another green jacket?
It might be his bedtime by then, but
I don't know how familiar you are with newborns. They don't like, and they have no concept of bedtime. They have no respect for bedtime.
No, I think look on paper, Scottie Scheffler is your world number 1. He's the man to beat. He
is the man to beat
on paper.
Okay.
But with his slow starts that he's been having in every single tournament that he seems to be that he's played in this year, that's not what you need Augusta. However, what we have seen is Scottie Scheffler have these slow starts and all of a sudden be right up there in the final day after shooting 6 under, 5 under, and then he's right in the mix, and then goes and does something again in round 4.
Backdoors wins.
Yeah, which is
it's a good problem to have, isn't it?
It's a good problem to have, but at the same time, it's Scottie Scheffler is the best when he's out in front, and I think if Scottie Scheffler can do that, then he will be celebrating on the 18th. On Sunday, but he's got a lot of, I would say, very informed players chasing him down this week, which is why it's so exciting and open.
There's part of me wants him to win it so that maybe Remy will be the first child ever to sick up on the green jacket.
Oh, could you imagine? No
in
way.
the Butler cabin.
Oh,
just
God.
all over Jim Nantz.
Yeah,
projectile.
I don't want to see that. That's a reason for him not to win.
There's a prediction on
that would be. There's a prediction as well. Goodness me.
He has the pimento cheese sandwich that's absolutely guaranteed to happen. But again, newborns, solids, not so much.
No, maybe not.
Lewis, how do you feel about Scottie's chances? Like James says, it's been a very indifferent start to the year by his very, very high standards.
This is the thing. Scheffler will be up there at the end. Of course he will. Like even if he's not out in the lead, I would be dumbfounded if he wasn't in contention on Sunday. Like the last 4 Masters he's played, he's won 2 of them. The other 2 he's finished in the top 10, 4th and 10th. So
Likes
I think
the place.
look, if you beat Scottie Scheffler, you've probably got a pretty good chance that you're going to be putting a green jacket on Sunday. But as James mentioned, like his superpower, which is his iron play, has sort of not quite been there this year. And he's spoken about it, saying as much as we look at the numbers and like strokes gained approach is like in the 80s somewhere, it's pretty much like in the middle of the pack, the PGA Tour. He feels like his driver is maybe the problem, and that's put him out of position and making it hard to hit the iron shots that we're used to seeing him hit. That's probably going to have to change, and that's going to have to get slightly better this week. But I do think that it will, to the point where he's going to be right up there, because he does rise to the big occasions. We've seen that for the last 5 years. So I don't think he'll win, because I think there's someone else who will win that we'll get onto, but he will be up there.
In the last 12 major championships, Scottie Scheffler has been top 10 times.
Yeah, that's
and has
pretty
won
good.
3 of them. So decent
Yes, decent would be a word, yeah.
He might be in for a bright future, that guy.
Yeah,
Keep an eye on him, by the way.
Yeah, he might be the best golfer in the world, some would say.
Yeah. I want to talk
about.
about Bryson because,
Go on,
well,
man.
first of all, interesting that Jim Nantz would volunteer that he hasn't watched him a huge amount this year. This guy's the lead commentator on the Masters this week and hasn't really done his homework as far as DeChambeau goes. But Bryson has had an exceptional start to the year on the Live Golf League. A couple of wins. And crucially, 72 holes now, so that whole, well, it's only 3 rounds argument is redundant.
Yeah.
But a couple of wins in 72-hole events, not to be sniffed at. He's got an interesting relationship with Augusta. I mean, we don't have to go too far back to find him calling the place a par 67, was how he said he was treating it.
Yeah.
And subsequently has struggled to break his own par on just about every trip. But let's not forget, because I think it is easily forgotten, he was in the final group with Rory last year.
Yeah.
Early doors in the final round, had the outright lead in the final round of the Masters. He's been a first-round leader before. This guy's capable of shooting good scores, James. The trouble he's got in the Masters is shooting 4 good rounds.
Yeah. But I think this is where Liv kind of changing to 4 rounds is going to benefit him coming into this tournament. And it's going to benefit all the boys who are on Liv this year, I think. Giving them 4 rounds to play, and Bryson obviously winning twice this year, I think that's going to give them almost the conditioning they need to kind of take it all the way down until the final round on Sunday. The one thing that Bryson needs to do is, if he gets his driver going, like he has been, especially on Liv, he's going to be very, very dangerous. But Bryson hits it long enough where he almost needs to play a little bit within himself. Like, I would like to see him hit a lot more kind of like 3-woods off the tee.
Absolutely right. Bang on.
Because his iron play and his greens in regulation on Liv this year alone I think he's second or first, but it's 77%.
Jeez, oh.
And that's the best I've seen his irons in a long time. So if he can hit fairways and if he's hitting as many greens as he is, with those new Bettinardi wedges, he's going to be very handy.
What he doesn't need to worry about at Augusta versus some of those other places is rough.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that he is
Doesn't
hitting
have any,
offline.
famously.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that he doesn't quite connect with,
Yeah.
well, at least he's going to have probably a pretty good lie.
Yeah.
Just stay out the trees and you should be fine.
Well, this is it. I think if you know you can smash a driver down there 370 yards or whatever the heck he's gonna do, if you can hit a 3-wood down there 320 and you know, all right, if it kind of goes offline a little bit, you're just in like the first cut, he's going to have a much better chance of shooting a score rather than blasting one 40 yards offline into the trees and having to go sideways. So I think his course management and obviously his relationship with his caddy this week is going to have to be absolutely on point. But look, we know what Bryson can do. He was pretty much in every single contention. Was it 24 for every single major he played in?
Yeah.
Like, he has
24, tied 6th, second, first. We missed the cut at the Open.
Yeah.
But if you look at his last 8 major starts, 6 top 10s, 1 win. Masters, last 2 years, tied 6th, tied 5th.
Yeah.
So something is going right for Bryson on the big stage. Funny that Liv hasn't destroyed him as a major contender, Lewis.
Funny that, yeah. I think I kind of disagree actually, James, in that I'm shocked that this is the argument you're going with, that he needs to throttle back. I think the driver is his biggest weapon. Like, round Augusta, hit it as much as you can. Because like you say, you're not going to, unless you hit it out of bounds, you're not going to lose balls. And there's a pretty good chance if you hit it into the pine straw, then you're going to have a chance to hit the green unless you're right behind the tree. But where Bryson, and like you say, he was leading like in the final round for like a few holes right at the start when Rory was having some issues to
There's a few issues
get going. Yeah, which we won't go into. He could be here all day.
Bunker off too, by the way, was the worst one of the lot. You don't find that bunker.
No,
Goodness me. Even I didn't find the bunker.
Ideal.
I was a good 40 yards back.
Wait, the second shot maybe. No, the thing that just completely collapsed for him was his iron play. He's just hitting like silly shots where he's trying to absolutely hit clubs way too hard and hitting them miles left, like the one on 11 last year, where he's hit a lovely drive and then hits it in the water and you think, what on earth are you doing? So that's the part of the game that I'm still a little bit unsure if he has quite figured that out. Like you say, James, like he's hitting a lot of greens on Liv and that's all well and good, but when you're there in contention at the Masters, if that issue rears its head again, then he needs to sort that out, or else he's not going to win.
Yeah,
because you can't afford to do that.
No, I hear what you're saying, and look, Bryson will live and die by the driver, but I think I'd like to see him just be a little bit more strategic, because the issue he has is because he can generate so much ball speed and power that at his speeds, if you get it ever so slightly off the toe or the heel, and I know obviously with the crank drivers, they're kind of like, they've got this cut face, so if you hit it off the toe, it will kind of almost just like a twist face kind of technology, it will kind of straighten out the flight and bring it back to the middle. Even still, at those speeds, if you mishit a golf ball and put any side spin on it whatsoever, it is going to get amplified. So he will see parts of Augusta that nobody else will.
I think that's the thing. It's about controlling the spin for Bryson. That's the single biggest thing that I think he's got to deal with this week, especially once the sub-air gets going and whatnot. We all know the funkiness of the grass and whatnot, the slopes and so on. Missing in the right places and controlling your spin, I think, will determine how many birdie looks Bryson gives himself. So actually, I'm kind of with you, James. I think throttling back probably is quite a good thing.
Yeah,
if you think how much zip he's going to be able to put on those wedges, you know what I mean? He's going to have to be absolutely dialed to take full advantage of that. But I just think he's playing so well at the moment. I think he's interesting. He's box office, isn't he? We all, even people who don't like Bryson, I nearly said hate, and I'm sure there are people who fall into that. Even people who don't like him can't resist watching him.
He is one of the first names that you will look for on the leaderboard to see how he's doing. Because, like you say, he could go and shoot 65, and he has shot incredible rounds at Augusta, but he could also shoot 80. Because of that approach that we're saying, that he will try and take things on. And I think that's the right thing for him to do, because if he starts hitting 5 woods off the tee, then he's just going to be in the same place as everyone else.
100%.
And that's not the part that can separate him.
But saying that,
he's getting there with 5 woods, and they're getting there with something different.
No, I get that.
And they're hitting 7 irons from where he's hitting 9 irons. So you can kind of like look at it in two different ways. But I hear you. I think he is going to take stuff on, which is what we want to see. Yeah. And I think he's going in there with a lot of confidence as well. So
without doubt. Lewis, you've got your eyes on a different live player this week, don't you?
So looking at greens and regulation, as James mentioned, you're right. Bryson has hit, call it 77% of greens and live. Now, obviously playing different golf courses, but PGA Tour, Johnny Kiefer is leading that stat, 73%. A lot of guys between like 70 and 73. One man has hit 82% of his greens in regulation this year on live. Any guesses?
I'm inclined to say Jon Rahm.
You would be correct, Jon Rahm.
2023 Masters champion.
I think, and I think that will be, I have no issue saying that I think he's going to be right up there towards Sunday night. Look, he's playing unbelievably well on live, and the thing that I think separates Rahm from Bryson and a lot of other contenders, not all of them, is that he's done it before. Did it in fantastic fashion when he did. Like, correct me if I'm wrong.
And crucially, on time. But that's for very selfish reasons.
But what do you mean on time? Explain that.
He finished on Sunday. At one point, it was looking unlikely.
Oh, God, yeah.
Thanks, Patrick Cantley.
Yeah, good point. But correct me if I'm wrong as well there. Like, he started with a 4-putt that week, did he, to make double? And then after that was pretty much flawless.
Yeah.
I can see Jon Rahm doing something similar this year. I think he's got a point to prove with stuff that's been going on off the golf course. He's looked really focused on live. He's obviously had a win there this year, playing some of the best golf that he's played. It's hard, again, to like compare with how he's doing in live and then the rest of the guys in the PGA Tour.
It's easier than it was, though.
It's easier than it was. And I think for that reason, he's going to be really, really difficult to beat if he keeps up the form that he's got.
You said he looks more focused. I would go so far as to say I think he looks settled. You know, that was the big change in him when he went to live, carrying the price tag and all that sort of stuff, getting used to a different environment, different people, not seeing the same faces. There's not even like the same faces on the range so much, but it's like the people behind the scenes. It was a new environment. He was getting used to that, and knowing that the eyes of the world were on him, that a fair proportion of the world wanted him to fail dramatically. You know, last season, I think he really started to show that he was settling down, getting comfortable with being the alpha dog on that tour. So, yeah, I'm with you. The only thing that gives me any pause is his 2 most recent results at Augusta, 45th in defence and 14th last year. 14th's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but is it?
Yeah, I can kind of look past the defending like when he's come back as the champion, as we said, that's going to be really difficult and a lot of kind of different pressures and obligations throughout the week. But if he hadn't won, then I'd look at the record and think, yeah, that's an issue. There's maybe something going wrong there. But again, like we're looking at weather and how the course is going to be, and it looks like it's going to be firm and quite fast. So I think for Rahm, that probably suits him. Guy who hits a fade.
Yeah.
You want to try and stop the ball quickly in the greens. Like, he has no issue with that. I don't think hitting a fade like off the tee is really too much of a problem for him, and that he can pretty much like can straighten that out and
it's not what it was.
It's not what it was, because the guy's hit it so far now.
Exactly.
You're right. There's only, I mean, obviously there's some holes where it's going to suit, like 10 is probably the biggest example. 10 and 13.
10 and 13.
Where if you can hit a big draw, then great. But if you can hit it
2
straight,
as well.
if you can hit it straight, 2 as well. You can hit it straight with enough distance, you're gonna.
He won it with a
negate
fade,
it.
so
Exactly.
I don't think we need to worry
Jack
too much about
Nicklaus
that.
did okay around there, didn't he? So
He was all right.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to him.
Yeah.
British hopes. Let's quickly look at some of the contenders there. There's been no British winner. And before anyone starts, Rory's Irish, okay? Northern Ireland is part of the UK. Yes, it's part of the British Isles, but it's part of the UK. He represents Ireland in the Olympics. So don't give me any of this. I just want to chip in and remind you all that in actual fact, when you said that Danny Willett was the last British winner, it was in fact Rory McIlroy a year ago. I thought you were his #1 fan. How could you forget? Shut up. Leave me alone. So, Danny Willett, the last man from Great Britain to win the Masters a decade ago. I can't believe that's been 10 years. Prior to that, Nick Faldo, 20 years before that, back to 1996. Who are the most likely British contenders, Mr. Tate?
Well, on the notes here, we're going to talk about Bob and Rose. And I think they're two perfect examples, but I think we're forgetting one guy in particular, which
Thomas
is
Fleetwood.
Matt Fitzpatrick.
I cannot believe the guts it took you
he's offered
to
that
volunteer Matt Fitzpatrick.
pretty good job.
And you nailed it, by the way.
I've been practicing.
In the lift coming up here in the mirror.
Yeah, I've just got to go get the mug.
Prior to Invisalign, that was a challenge.
Yeah.
With Invisalign, even more so. But, mate, I want to give you a green Invisalign for that.
Thank you.
You've absolutely brought that home.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, I appreciate that.
Matt Fitz, it's a great shout.
Yeah,
Great shout.
I think, look, he's 6th in the world at the minute. He finished 2nd at Players, won Valspar. He seems like he's found his groove. His last kind of couple of finishes at the Masters, though, haven't been the Matt Fitzpatrick, which I think we were... So I did it. I was good there.
Just let him keep going.
Oh, did I say it wrong?
Yeah, you're going to make a good point. That's fine.
Just say Fitz.
Fitz.
Yeah, his last 2 finishes at Augusta.
Yeah, tied 44th last year, tied 20th the year before. But what I would say is his kind of last kind of couple and few results would, I hate saying the word, but he would be trending nicely, I would say. But yeah, I think he's a great shot. Look, like Rose, he was extremely unlucky last year. What a hell of a final round he had against Rory. And again, the sportsmanship that he showed as well was fantastic. Bob has been playing insanely well.
Putting insanely well.
Yeah.
Which is very, very important this week.
Apart from last night, he was putting insanely crap. Where I think he was actually probably kicking himself. Well, he missed a couple 10-footers by...
Missed a couple of 10-footers.
No, but
he lost the tournament by a shot, didn't he?
Exactly.
That's not crap.
Well, it was when you're missing them by about 6 inches right or left.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I would say those are the 3 guys that stick out to me. Bob, Rosie, and Fitz, I think, are going to be our next best.
Fitz, only 2 top 10 finishes in the Masters from
and
11
Tommy
appearances.
As well, of course.
Tied 7th as his best 10 years ago when Danny Willett won. But yeah, I take the point. He's playing good stuff. I just wonder if Fitz has maybe peaked a little bit too soon.
I just think ever since...
He won on his last start, didn't he?
Yeah.
Having almost won in the start before that, so...
It's tough to maintain that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder, I think ever since Ryder Cup, I feel like he's just kind of found his kind of groove again.
He's gone to a different level,
because
no
he
doubt.
Played insane at the Ryder Cup, and I just feel like...
Won in Dubai.
Yeah, we're starting to see a good bit of form and consistency from him. So yeah, for me, I think he's going to be a standout.
Lewis, you agree, or is there another British golfer from Great Britain that has caught your eye?
Well, there's a golfer from Scotland who has caught my eye in the last few weeks. And
Sandy
that is
Lyle. I don't think he's playing.
No, actually, what happened was he did win it quite a while back, but then he decided he was going to call it a day. So not him. Actually, someone by the name of Robert McIntyre, who I think is set for a really good week. Things are.
Is this the tartan spectacles you've got on?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Well, the tartan spectacles make me want him to do well, but then the head and like just looking at how he's been doing for the last few weeks makes me think that he will.
Okay.
And that plus his record at Augusta is brilliant. Like, he's had really good finishes there. It seems to suit him well. You mentioned it right at the start of this section. His putting was really what let him down the last time he was at Augusta National. Like, I think he came out, I can't remember the exact words he used, but something to the effect
I don't think we could use them.
No, probably not. But I think to the press that went on record, I'm sure other words were used off the record, but I think it was to the effect of atrocious, which probably summed it up last time. But this time around, I mean, like, you can look at stats like in data golf this year, like he's gained shots putting every single event that he's played, which is a really promising sign. If he can take that to the Masters, then I don't see any reason why he won't be up there. There's the whole thing about left-handers doing well there, which again, you might like kind of laugh at, but there's obviously
there's
reasons.
3 champions.
Yeah, but then there's reasons that guys do well there, and that it might suit their eye particularly well with some holes. If you're someone who hits a fade, then great. I was kind of almost glad in a way that he didn't win last night. We're recording on Monday and Sunday night that he didn't win, because it's really difficult to win 2 weeks in a row because of what happens. I do slightly worry that mammoth like final day might have taken it out of him slightly, in that you're playing a lot more holes and you're in contention. It's quite a lot of stress, but that would be the only thing that would slightly worry me.
I think that's
about
why
Bob.
today's important. He needs to rest, fully
recovery.
Exactly, just recharge, reset, go again, and take that frustration, disappointment, whatever you want to call it, out in the course this week.
Yep.
He doesn't need to learn Augusta again. He's a guy that has played there multiple times now. He likes the golf course. He's told me that himself. His strokes gained putting 4th on the PGA Tour so far this year. Jacob Bridgman, the world's worst superhero, currently leads that, out of interest. He's also leading the PGA Tour in terms of 1 putt percentage.
That's good.
That's really important this week.
Yeah.
A place where you can easily start racking up 3 putts, and that's, to be honest, the putting is the big differential. I think the fact that Bob is putting as well as he is going to be huge for him. Everyone says Augusta's a second shot golf course. That is undoubtedly the case, because there's no rough to deal with off the tee. It is a second shot golf course, but where you can start racking up shots very quickly is on the greens.
Oh yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it so often, haven't we?
I'm excited for Bob this week. I think he's got a great chance. You make a good point about the fact that maybe not winning the Texas Open could be a blessing in disguise. I've looked at the data. Twice in the last 40 years has a player won the PGA Tour event the week before the Masters and gone on to win the Masters. Those two, Phil Mickelson in 2006 and Sandy Lyle in 1988, back when it was the Greater Greensboro Open. But you have a 1 in 4 chance, based on the stats, of missing the cut at the Masters as the person who won the previous week. So as a Scot, I'm not particularly bothered that Bob didn't win the Valero, and I'll be even less bothered if he wins the Masters this week. So, yeah, I think you're right. He's definitely one to watch. Likewise, Fitz. I would love it to be Justin Rose. I think the man deserves. If anyone deserves anything from the golf gods, it's him and a green jacket. I think he'd be a great ambassador for the Masters as well. A great ambassador for the green jacket and all that it's supposed to represent. Losing in 2 playoffs in the last 8 years, I think it is. 7 years, 8 years. He's due, and I think it would be brilliant to see him win. Listen, there's more to talk about in part 2. Before we get there, a quick asked and answered, gentlemen. And this is Masters related, of course, because most things in the pod this week are. If the answer is 957, what is the question? If the answer is 957, what is the question? Whilst you chaps are thinking about it, a few responses from our social media followers. Remember, X, we are at The Bunkered Pod and facebook.com/The Bunkered Podcast. Equally, you can send us your ideas, letters at bunker.co.uk. Graham Marr, 957. How many times will Tyrrell Hatton swear during each round this week? That is probably a conservative estimate, Graham. We haven't even spoken about Tyrrell. I mean, there's a guy who's
talking about Liv,
someone that I think is going to contend. Dennis Harvey, how many times will Paul McGinley mention the sub-air system this week?
And momentum as well.
And
Combine
momentum.
those two things.
Oh, God, yeah. Craig Meikle, how much will Michael save not being at Augusta on merch this year? Again,
probably not far off.
Also a conservative estimate.
Very conservative. What are you talking about, Lewis? That's how much I've spent net and all the times I've been.
Ah, right.
Remember, she listens.
Do you think she's still listening by this point?
Hopefully not.
Yeah. How much was the watch?
I think we probably lost her at...
Well, at what point do you think Bryson? Okay.
Par 67.
Interested in Rory and Scottie, but not Bryson.
Gregor Campbell. Oh, what? Gregor, that's harsh. What Michael shot during his round at Augusta?
That was mine.
Take one of the numbers out, right, isn't it?
It is actually. I shot a 97. And it's the
There you
best
go.
97 I've ever
Broke
shot.
100.
I tell you what. Yeah,
Fair play.
exactly.
Factually
With an
correct.
asterisk, but it's fine. You can read more about that on the website. James Tracy, how many times has Jordan... Oh, compose yourself. How many times has Jordan Spieth woken up in a cold sweat dreaming about the 2016 Masters?
God,
yes,
yes,
James.
yes,
Love
sickening.
that. And I think that is probably accurate. Oh my God, how did he not win that?
Brutal.
What have you got, chaps? Lewis, you first.
I want to read out another. I can't believe you've not picked up on this one, but it's from Ross Eaglesham, fellow Beagle owner. And he has responded saying, is it the total swing speed of Lewis if he hit 10 drives? And that is actually about right. If you do the math.
95.7?
Yeah, it's pretty much spot on. So he's solved it. If
really
that's
good.
not what you were going for, then is it the average yardage of a par 5 in 20 years' time?
Very likely
going
to
that
be
way,
the
isn't
case.
it?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
the longest this week? It's under
God.
600, isn't it? Or is it just over?
That's a good question that I don't
Everything,
have the
funnily enough,
answer
all
to
the
yet.
yardages end in either a 0 or a 5.
Correct, as they should be.
Let's make that a thing.
Absolutely. Why don't we speak about that a couple of weeks back? It's ridiculous. See, when you get up into par 3 and it's like 137 yards, how do you, like...
Just cut off too.
Yeah.
I've got a number for
135.
135.
5. Yeah, exactly. And then you move the pin, the tees are... yeah. But yeah, anyway. I'm guessing it's not that.
It's not that.
Right, okay, no.
James?
How many years is it going to take Lewis to break 100 mile per hour club speed?
957. Yeah.
957 from now, we will be in another millennium.
Yes.
Yes. It'll be the year 3000 and something or other.
Not much has changed, but they live underwater now.
Oh, no. Great busted.
God.
Great
some
busted
more,
reference.
some more.
That was
really good
that was
chat.
so quick from me.
Oh, yes. No.
Is it that? Is that?
Funnily
No.
enough, also not that.
Right, good.
I will give you the correct question to that answer the other side of this commercial break. Do not go anywhere.
Do you want an easy way to book tea times in Spain, Portugal and Italy? If yes, then On Tea is your answer. OnTea.com is a reliable and easy-to-use site for tea time bookings. There are 3 reasons why you should use On Tea. 1. You can cancel your tea time up to 48 hours before teeing off, free of charge. 2. You have the payment option Book Now, Pay Later available. 3. On Tea guarantees the lowest online price. Go to ontea.com today and discover 1,000 bookable courses. Use the code BUNKERED26 during checkout to get a discount on your purchase. Valid throughout 2026.
Welcome back, part 2 of this week's Bunkered podcast, previewing the 90th Masters Tournament. Michael, James and Lewis all with you. Before the break, asked and answered, if the answer is 957, what is the question? Well, that's actually really simple. The question is, how many birdies were carded at the 2025 Masters? 957
Holy
across the whole week. The most in the last 10 years was actually 2020. Maybe not a huge surprise, played in November, soft conditions, 1,122. And the fewest was actually 10 years ago, 2016, with 811. Why am I telling you how many birdies have been carded at Augusta over the last decade or so? That is because we have a competition right now on the Bunker website, bunker.co.uk/competitions, where you can win a Srixon Masters-themed season opener, to be completely correct. A Srixon Masters-themed stand bag. What you have to do is go there and fill in the form and let us know how many birdies you think will be carded at this year's Masters. Now remember, 957 last year, a 10-year high of 1,177, I think I said, and a 10-year low of 811. If you correctly predict how many birdies are indeed carded at this year's Masters, you will go into a prize draw along with everyone else that gets it right to win that stand bag. And it is lovely. Go and check it out on the website. So, if nobody gets it right, obviously the person closest will get it. And in the event of a tie, goes into a hat. You know how competitions work. It's fairly straightforward. If you want to win the Masters-themed Srixon stand bag, bunker.co.uk/competitions. Right, gents, before I go on with some of my own questions, we've got some questions from listeners that we need to have a look at. David McLaren. I have a handicap of 14.9 playing at Glencorse Golf Club. My average gross medal score is 81. What do you think I might shoot at the Masters?
Oh, God. Right, so Rahm so he shoots 81. So
he said the Masters. He's not said at Augusta. So he's obviously talking about the Masters at its full length.
If
so
he
7,400 versus 6,300 odd.
Oh, God. Well, you should probably go first in this, Michael, for obvious reasons.
81... playing off 14.9 at Glencorse, that many people say is the Augusta National of that postcode. I will say 120.
Yeah,
I was going to say about the same, about 115, 120.
I would think...
It wouldn't be pretty, David, I'll tell you that much. There's going to be a lot of numbers.
Yeah, big numbers, writing your phone number in the scorecard. I think
if it's under tournament conditions, and by that I mean like pins, greens rolling at the same. He did say, what would I shoot at the Masters?
Yeah. So this is it. You've got the patrons are out there, like Butch Harmon's on TV thinking, what's this guy doing?
Yeah.
Like all of that. Greens rolling.
Let's cut to 18, and David McLaren is
from Glencorse.
And he's bladed it into the water.
You know, when this doesn't happen often, but when there's one of the guys coming up the last and they're so far out of contention they just don't show their score, I think that would happen very quickly for David, just to like spare his blushes, unfortunately. The length could be a problem. I don't know how far he hits the ball. This is a thing.
True.
David could be a bomber. He might just have an absolutely rotten wedge game.
Yeah,
or
that
he might
could
struggle
be
to get
worse.
up the hill off the first.
Yes, this is my thinking. Struggle to reach a lot of the fairways. Again, there's no rough, so that's not too much of an issue. But yeah, it's gonna be.
It's 120.
120.
Sorry,
I think
David.
would be conservative. Yeah, great question. I was just thinking.
Craig Meikle, we've kind of covered this. Bob Mack's chances of winning really good.
Very
to be honest,
yeah, pretty solid.
Great, like them.
As good as they have been.
Ogie, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, OGIE. Another Brazilian footballer getting in touch with us. Should we expect another first-time major winner or a proven champion? I want to talk about first-time major winners in just a little while.
Stay tuned.
But I'm leaning towards the former. If it's not DeChambeau, I'm leaning towards the former, and I'll explain why in a little while. And Aidan Boyle, this is a good one, chaps. What would your champion's dinner be?
Oh, God.
Now, I've given this a lot of thought over the years. And so I may have already said this. Regular listeners will be familiar, but I grew up in Orkney, the Orkney Islands, and we have a local delicacy up there called a patty supper. You go to the chip shop, you don't order a sausage supper or fish and chips, you order a patty supper. And what that is mashed potato with mutton or beef, onions, tons of seasoning, mash it all together, deep fry it, and serve it with chips. Best thing you'll ever eat in your life.
Brilliant.
Ooh. That's why life expectancies in Orkney not especially long. Heart problems, heart issues are well up there. There's a lot of cholesterol in the Orkney Islands.
See, my thing with this is it becomes like logistical. You're going to have to get. Are you going to take someone from Orkney and fly them out to Augusta National to like teach the chefs there how to make this?
I'm pretty sure the chefs at Augusta National can cook most things.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But you want it to
it's
be
like
authentic,
having
though,
a world-renowned pianist and putting a bit of sheet music in front of them and saying, play that.
Yeah.
They're going to do a great
Just because
job.
it's from Orkney, they're probably going to.
You hand them
like that.
stateside Like Zala Larson and Pink Panthers, they will do a
talking about
really good job
I like
playing
it.
it at first glance. So I'm not worried about who's cooking it.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah, thought I'd just let you know. James, any thoughts?
Haggis bomb for starters.
I mean, that's just like Patty Suppers, except you're sticking haggis. You're just nicking off
No,
whatever.
and then I think for main, I would want like a massive carvery just with meats and everything you could think of. Yeah.
So
and then
you know how you get the menu.
Yeah,
Meat.
carvery or just meat. And then
Yeah.
just like all the trimmings with that. And then for dessert, sticky toffee pudding.
Everyone likes sticky toffee.
Yeah, can't
Lewis?
go wrong with that.
So I would think I would have 2 starters. One of them would be prepared by Jackie Fraser, and that would be her macaroni cheese, which she puts pancetta in, really crispy on the top. So we're flying
That's-
her out
that's
to
a
do
side.
that.
It's
Or
a
at
bit
least like talking to
Posh
chefs.
for Inverness, is it not?
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're taking it to Augusta
I
National.
see.
And then we're going to have another starter, which is like taking a Scottish twist and things, which is Stornoway black pudding with some scallops there as well.
Yeah, great
Brilliant
shout.
combination.
Are you
So
gonna
that would be the
You're
starters.
going to have the beagles bring it out on their backs.
No, because they would eat it and no one else would get fed, and it would be the worst Masters dinner in history, and it would just descend into chaos. So no, that they will be staying firmly away
Kind
from
of feel
that.
like Gary Player wouldn't appreciate the
Yeah, no,
Beagles.
I wouldn't like the Beagles at all. They're good
Get
judges
these
of
little
characters,
ferrets out of
so-
here.
Yeah, yeah. So no, they're not coming. Main course, I think I would go really Scottish and go down the Sandy Lyle route of haggis, neeps and tatties.
So
but
unoriginal.
I know it's unoriginal, but I think it's my
What are you going to
Masters
serve
dinner,
for dessert?
so-
Caramel wafers?
No. Okay. Maybe after, because I think Danny Willett had like English biscuits, didn't he, after
Did he?
pudding? Yeah, something like that was in the menu. Can't remember what he had. Like
What,
English tea, maybe.
digestives?
Quite possibly, yeah. I think so.
Oh,
I can't remember
dearie
exactly.
me.
But no, we're not having them.
Sure, hobnob, Danny.
Yeah, no.
Then dessert, sticky toffee pudding's a good shout. I really like, this is boring, but I'm a big cheesecake guy. So we could go for some of that. New York cheesecake. Big fan of that. Selection of cheesecakes, bring that out in the wee
Selection of
trolley.
cheesecakes.
The trolley that they wheel out in restaurants.
I think
so,
the listeners should let us know whose dinner they prefer best.
yeah.
Well, I didn't go with starter and dessert.
Ah, you
but
just went.
So you just Orkney food.
We'd
Orkney
have,
food, yeah.
yeah, we'd have Iron Brew and Tenants on offer as well.
Tenants on
that
tap.
Would be, yeah, that
Again,
would be
Gary
there
Player
too.
dealing with that.
Yeah,
I would pay to
he's-
see Gary Player sink a pint
He's
of
not allowed
Tennent's.
that. He's actually not coming to my Masters.
I'm not surprised. Now, some good questions, folks. Thank you for getting in touch. Keep them coming. We like questions. They're all good fun. We spoke there about first-time major champions and who is most likely to win their first major this week and why. We could have spoken about him as far as I'm concerned and just the other side of the advert break. I would say Tommy Fleetwood. It's happening, surely to
some
God.
point.
And how good would Tommy Fleetwood look in a green jacket?
Oh yeah, he would look good. You know, he'd you can wear whatever he wants now, so he'd have something
Yeah.
lined up, scripted for the Sunday. But he would look good. Does worry me that it's not happened to this point, and you think, is it going?
So
to?
what's the
But
difference got to be for Tommy then, Lewis? Why hasn't it happened? You're the performance
I don't
guy.
know. Yeah, that's a good question. I wish I knew, but just an amalgamation of everything. That's a really boring answer, but you do have to do everything well at the Masters.
Yeah.
Probably putting more than anything is kind of what's held him back. And I know he put a new putter in last week, or new like design on it. So he did have like really like homemade, tailor-made spider with like Sharpie lines drawn on.
Saw that.
And now he's got like a custom-made one with a bit more of a robust
See,
line on it.
It always worries me when players do things like this so close to a major
Yeah,
championship.
likewise.
It's like going to run a marathon and the week before buying new trainers.
They're searching for something.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
like it either.
I don't like to see gear tweaks.
However, Bryson did quite well when he changed his irons.
He did okay. Yeah. I don't like to see gear tweaks. I don't like to see particularly things like you're describing there, Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at something
alignments.
totally different, especially with the putter, which is if you have a driver that looks slightly different, it might send your ball 10 yards further down the fairway, great. But with a putter, it's so feel based.
Yeah.
So that would be the one thing that would probably. It's probably what Tommy would need to improve most, because I say that as if it's like a bad thing. The reason I say that is because his ball striking's incredible. That's why he's done so
Yeah.
well. But when it does get to that, historically, like before he had his big breakthrough, that was probably the one club that did hold him back slightly. So hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, if he can get that going, then I don't see why not. He does have a good record round.
Currently 120th strokes gained putting on the PGA Tour this
Yeah,
season.
see,
that ain't great.
That's not going to do it.
James,
at
what about
Augusta.
you? Any other guys looking for their first major that you think could contend this week?
I've got two, but I've got one that stands out like a lot. So Cam Young, winner at the Players, fourth in strokes gained off the tee, seventh in driving, great drive with the golf ball. And when it comes down to tee to green, he's very, very solid. However, he is not the guy who is really sticking out more than anyone else just based on stats.
Okay.
First in strokes gained on the PGA Tour.
Strokes gained total.
Yeah.
Ludwig?
Nope. And it's not Rory McIlroy or Scottie Scheffler. They are behind him in third and fourth place.
Is it your favourite golfer on the planet?
I wouldn't say he's my favourite golfer on the planet, but let me just run through these stats. Because
James would pick this guy for Pod of the Merit every week.
Yeah, if we were doing the Clydebank Medal, you would pick this guy.
Yeah.
Let me run through the stats because they are very impressive. So 8th in driving distance, 2nd in strokes gained putting, 3rd in scrambling, 1st in scrambling from the rough. Putts per round, he's first. Scoring average, he's first on the PGA Tour. Bookies have him at 30-1. He's only missed one cut, which was at the Players. Top 10 5 times from 7 starts. Missed only one cut, was at the Players. And his worst finish this year has been tied 11th at the Sony Open.
Am I right in saying he was tied 6th at the Houston Open a couple of weeks ago?
Very possibly.
Go for it. Who is the mystery man?
Jake Knapp, Mr. PXG.
What a shout that is, by the way.
He by far for me stands out more than anyone purely from his scrambling and his putting. His kind of accuracy off the tee isn't great with the driver, but as we know, if you're in the pine straw, you still normally have a shot, which Lewis obviously kind of alluded to earlier. Greens in regulation, he's kind of middle of the pack at 66%. However, with that putting, when he does hit the greens, he's going to be very dangerous. For me, he is a standout shout as being a first-time major.
Yeah, just a wee point of order. You say his worst finish was at the Sony Open. He missed the cut at the Players' Championship.
Yeah, he missed the cut at the Players,
but I'm looking at his finishes. Oh, my word. So Sony Open tied 11th. Farmers tied 5th. Phoenix 8th. Pebble Beach 8th. Genesis 6th. Missed cut Players. Houston Open 6th.
Yeah.
Wowza.
Yeah. Top 10 5 times.
Lewis, what do you make of that?
You make a compelling case, James. I will say that. A lot of numbers thrown at me there, and they all sound
I had to back it
very
up.
good. Yeah, you have backed it up. I'm going to go the complete opposite of the numbers shout here and just say I don't see it happening. Not this year. Maybe at some point, but I don't know. He's played one Masters. In fact,
tied 55th 2 years ago.
Right, so that worries me slightly. I mean, like, he's a completely different golfer
Wasn't
to what he
racking up
was
the top 10s like that 2 years ago.
2 years ago. And as James says, he is the form man on the planet. But I don't know. I just don't quite see it this time around for Jake Knapp. There is someone who will be playing his first Masters.
Oh, a whole other question. But
a whole other question. Sorry, but would be his, well, as you can imagine, playing his first Masters also be his first time major win, although he did nearly win the Open last year. Any suggestion who that might be?
No.
First Masters.
Chris Gotterup.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
okay.
someone who hits the ball a very long way. And the reason I think he could do well is we've seen that he performs well at links courses, and it's not usually like a direct correlation, but if we're led to believe that it's going to be quite warm and dry at Augusta this week, as you mentioned, the sub-air systems are going to be on. Paul McGinley's going to be talking about that. Someone who does well around links courses is Chris Gotterup.
Completely different grass.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
Not
but
even remotely comparable.
Talking about the types of grass.
Yeah,
fine.
My guy's number 1 in strokes gained on the PGA Tour.
Come on. Yeah, I know.
It's relevant though. There's
fair
enough.
Yeah,
one
different
grass.
grass.
The next is fairly significant.
Yeah, that is a good point. I hadn't considered the type of grass when thinking about Chris Gotterup.
I get where you're coming from, though.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you? Yeah.
Go on.
Because you're going to have to play a lot more shots along the ground and allow for rollout because you're having to. It's not just up and down.
Michael's talked me out of it already.
No, with his
No, it's
length,
not
he's not
really.
going to be hitting anything near
No.
the
No,
ground.
but I mean,
hitting
like,
it miles and then flopping
No.
wedges high and landing them soft. Like we say, you want to get your ball to stop moving at Augusta as fast as possible.
The thing is, you're talking about
Yeah.
someone on form. Like Chris Gotterup has won twice on tour this year, hasn't he? Nearly.
Well, I'm
more.
not disputing the form.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I'm disputing is the logic.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'll take that on board and come back with a better suggestion next time. But I do think he'll do well. So
Augusta
there you go.
couldn't be anything less like a links course.
Yeah, no, but
you're talking
I
from
know
a firm,
what you're-
kind of
firm
person.
I know the point you're
standpoint,
trying
but, like,
to
I'm
make.
trying to make it
As
work,
someone
and
who's
it's
played
maybe
there,
not.
he's going to poo-poo all over
Yeah,
that.
no, fair enough. I'll take that on
Can
board.
confirm, not a thing like Royal Troon.
Okay, that's
There was
reasonable.
no
Yeah,
point
that is a
when I was playing
reasonable
there. I'm
shout.
going, do you know what this reminds me of?
Troon, yeah.
It's like Troon Darley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm not
Shit.
having that.
God damn it.
Mm.
Any other potential Masters debutant champions? Because remember, the last player to win the Masters on debut was Fuzzy Zoeller back in 1979. Again, one of only 3 players to do so. This is the first Masters that's being played since Fuzzy passed away late last year. It almost feels like it would be somewhat of a tribute to him, where a Masters debutant to win this time around. So, got it up. Good shout.
Yeah. I think he's the
Terrible
most likely
logic.
out of them.
Most likely, do you think so?
Yeah, out of debutants, yeah, I'd say
James
so.
is shaking his head.
Go on, James.
I think for me, Marco Penge.
Have you got a deal with PXG?
I just.
I'll tell you, Aldrich Peter. Remember when Zach Johnson was sponsored by PXG?
Gary Player.
No, but like
Go on.
it's his first Masters. It's his debut, and out of everyone, like you can look at that and be like, okay, Casey Jarvis, Tom McKibben, yeah, okay, they played.
Casey Jarvis is an unbelievable shout, by the way.
He's been playing incredibly well. But if you look at the tournaments, which are, I would say, the bigger tournaments out in kind of like Abu Dhabi and Saudi, he hasn't really kind of like lived up to what he's capable of doing, I would say. Because he hasn't finished as well as what he has in like the smaller events.
Don't know. Winning's fairly important.
Yeah.
Well, the Canyon Open isn't exactly the biggest tournament, though, isn't it?
No, it's not, but it's still winning.
True, but it's not going to give him the same kind of.
I think winning
I guess
will set you up better for winning than finishing third.
Well,
yeah, in a better field. Yeah, that
you know how
feeling
to
of
close out a
being-
tournament. It's,
yeah.
it's absolutely irrelevant in that sense.
I do get
who
what
you're up
James is
against.
saying, though.
Yeah,
like,
the
I'd say
stakes
that-
are higher.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the Masters is a different beast than the Canyon Open, though.
Of course, his stakes are totally different, but knowing how to win is a pretty good thing to have in your locker.
No, I totally agree with that. But I just think Casey Jarvis, yes, okay, he has done pretty well. But out of the 3 names that I've read there, I think Marco Penge stands out
is
more
a good
just
shout.
because of what he's done, obviously, last year. Changing his equipment, however, I don't know. But
Strange move that, I thought.
Yeah, but he seems to kind of be settling a little bit more. Tied 5th at Valspar, and obviously played pretty well at Valero last week.
Yeah.
He just kind of fell away in that
Listen,
final round. But
of the Masters rookies, I'm looking at some of them like Ben Griffin.
yeah,
it's an amazing thing he's played a Ryder Cup and hasn't yet played the Masters, but I think he's a really compelling one. Rasmus Niergaard Peterson towards the end of last year, I would have thought your good pal. Has he followed you yet?
No,
No.
I don't have my phone on me to check.
So
but
when
I
he won the
looked this
Aussie
morning,
Open,
no,
I would
he
have fancied
hadn't.
his chances. But Tom McKibben is another one that really stands out for me.
Yeah.
Back-to-back winners from Hollywood Golf Club.
That would be quite
Imagine that.
something.
Yeah.
he's
That
just
would be
not been
amazing.
playing that well on Live this year.
Not amazing.
His best
no.
finish has been tied 17th so far.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'd like to
well.
see Rasmus do it. That would be good.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
Even less chance of a follow after
that
I
ship
would have
has
thought.
sailed, unfortunately,
Yeah.
for Rasmus. If you're listening, come on, mate. Follow me back.
There's not
Anything.
many old guys in the field this week, with the greatest of respect. By that, I mean seniors. Guys over the age of 50.
Yeah.
Tiger and Phil withdrawing is obviously taking that down. There was 8, now there's 6. Fred Couples at 66 is going to be the oldest player in the field. The others there, let me see, Cabrera, who shouldn't be there. Olathabal, Zach Johnson, Mike Weir, and VJ, I think, are the only others.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the start of things to come? Because we were getting used to seeing older gentlemen playing in the Masters, much less of it now. No one over the age of 70. Very few over the age of 60. How long, James, before there's nobody over the age of 60 in the Masters field? And will that be a sad day or not?
I don't think it will be a sad day. I think it might just be a bit sad for the guys who are still wanting to play at the Masters. But I just feel that the guys who kind of are at that age, they can't keep up with the modern game of golf, with how long the courses are getting. I mean, you could look at half of those winners there and just look how much like Augusta has, lengthened in that time. I
say that, but Langer, who obviously played his final one, was it last year or the year before, he was still shooting pretty good numbers on occasion. I mean, he's not stringing it together, but
no, but
they're capable of scores.
Don't get me wrong. They're still insanely good golfers. I think you probably get to a point, though, when you're getting a little bit disheartened when you're hitting hybrids into every single par 4, rather than these other younger guys who are blasting driver and hitting 8 irons. Yeah. And it's hard to keep up with that. It's hard to compete with that.
Do you know where it's easier? On a links course.
Yes, because the ball runs further, famously.
Yeah. I mean,
Chris Gotterup doesn't have to worry about that. So he's fine. He hits that very
I don't think that's going to be forgotten anytime soon, Lewis. You've said it now. It's out there. It's staying in. It's staying in.
Yeah.
So,
For God's sake.
But I think, that's just the nature of the way that style of golf obviously is, because a lot of it's kind of through the air. Yes, there are some holes where you're going to get a lot more kind of rollout, especially when is it 11 that goes straight downhill, downhill and left?
10 and 11.
10 and 11, both severely downhill.
10 is the one, I think.
Yeah, 10. Like, you're going to get a lot of rollout there, but then the rest of it is just going to be a slog for the guys who are maybe only hitting it about 250 yards.
Lewis, would it be a sad day if we ran out of old boys?
Yeah, old boys. Yeah, I do think it would be sad. James is saying he doesn't think it would be, but I like seeing players who maybe aren't competitive at that time, but have won the Masters maybe 20 or 30 years ago, and they're going there and playing. And if they're playing reasonably well, then yeah, I think that is sad. That's part of the tradition.
The counter argument is that it cheapens the tournament because it's a major championship, and you've got guys who simply aren't competitive and aren't going to threaten to win. At a major, shouldn't everybody in the field theoretically be capable of winning?
Well, you say that, but the reason that the vast majority of these people are there, and all the guys that you've mentioned are there, is because they have won it at some point.
Before you were born.
Yes, that is true. But at the same time, if you win the Masters, then I think you have the right to be there for as long as
you
reasonable.
Do. That's the club's directive.
And I think
the question people have got is, should you?
Yeah, I think you should. Up to the point where it becomes, if you're like really holding back like players that you're playing with and like are shooting ridiculously high numbers because you can't reach like a lot of greens in regulation, that kind of thing. But the way that it is now is that they haven't put like an age limit on it or anything, which I think is good, because you have someone like Fred Couples, who like say is 66 years old. He's not going to go and he's probably not going to finish last, is he? He's going to go and like make a reasonable stab at it.
Which amateur's going to finish last this year?
Sorry, probably someone. Yes, and for the most part, you don't see loads of guys going and they'll be like taking the piss and playing way too long past like how long they should be playing. So
not anymore, you don't.
Yeah, not anymore. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it would be sad if, like you say, James, like Fred Couples spoke about it. Was it last year, a couple of years back, about how that is why these guys just don't want to go and play anymore, because it isn't much fun if you're the one hitting a hybrid and you've got some young players hitting at 80 yards past
like
you.
Nick Dunlap, a young lad shooting 91.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, but he's probably still hitting it much further just into the trees that time that you shot that. So yeah, I think it would be sad. It's like, what do you think on that?
Listen, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think it would be a shame to see that part of it go. It's the Masters that I've grown up with. I get all the counter arguments, and I for the record, I can't disagree with some of them, but there's a charm. There's something that hits me in the feels, is the most articulate way that I can put it when I see these guys showing up. And it's nice when somebody like Langer comes along and produces a score out of absolutely nowhere. I think it would be nice to see somebody at the Masters beat their age, but I don't think that's going to happen. So Maybe Fred's the guy. Maybe Fred's going to go out and shoot 65 on Thursday. We'll see. Couple of other quick things before we finish up, because I'm well aware this is, as the Masters preview always is, a slightly longer episode. But Fred Ridley, the chairman of Augusta National Golf Club, his presser, as always, is set for Wednesday. Either of you expecting any major announcements or declarations from the bold Fred?
Not really, no. I don't think I'm
really.
expecting anything bold. Usually if there was, we might get like an inkling that something big is coming, but I've
Yeah.
not heard that. I don't know about you, Michael. Is there anything on the horizon that we're
I'm
missing
just
here?
interested to see if he says anything about the rollback.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
They've got a bit of a bee in their bonnet,
Mhm.
Augusta, and I can understand exactly why. There's been a bit of a simmering frustration now for a number of years over the lack of progress made, and I think they're just patiently waiting for the USGA and RNA to do something,
No.
and nothing continues to happen. So I just wonder if he might use the
Yeah.
opportunity to say it would be good if we could do something here now, chaps.
Yeah, it does annoy me when I hear that, because I just think it's just the way, it's like the evolution of the modern golfer. It's like you can't do anything. Guys are just better and they're more athletic than what they ever have been. Tiger started it, and
They
look
are
where we
using
are.
superior equipment. They're better
Yeah.
conditioned. Courses are better conditioned.
You're telling me that you tell me every January when these drivers come round that they all go further than the last ones. Now you're saying it's athleticism.
It's a combination
It's
of
a
all the
combination.
factors. This is the
Okay,
thing.
right.
Like, it has always been that. And that's why I think the rollback, I can take or leave if I'm being completely honest, because James is right. Players they understand themselves better because there is more information, and those marginal gains that weren't there in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s are now there. That's why we have sports scientists now. That's why we didn't back then.
Yeah.
But we also can't overlook things like agronomy. They are using better equipment to maintain that golf course to the most exacting of standards.
Yeah.
It's manicured within an inch of its life.
Yeah.
Whereas when Gary Player was at his best, by his own admission, the fairways had daisies on them. So
Yeah.
it's a combination of things. The equipment, the argument is, the argument has long been that the equipment is the easiest thing to fix.
Yeah.
Why not roll back the John Deeres? But fine, you think the equipment's easier to fix. That's why I get Fred Ridley's frustration at the amount of time it's taking to do anything about it, because that's why we have people in charge of things.
Yep.
Because when something needs done, they should be able to make those things happen relatively quickly.
Yeah, I need to double check this, but there is something out there. It's like we can sit here and be like, oh, the guys are hitting it so far, equipment's gone, is making everyone better golfers. If the equipment's making golfers better and longer, then why is the average handicap not really shifted over the last God knows how many years?
Go on then, Mr. Performance Editor. Or is that a podcast for another
No,
day?
it could be a podcast for another time.
Yeah.
I did look into this a couple of years back, and the simple answer is that golf is just really difficult, unfortunately. So
Golf continues to be
golf
a hard sport to play.
continues to be
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, shock horror. That
Yeah.
doesn't really sell magazines, so unfortunately, putting that in the cover,
Yeah.
golf
No.
is still really difficult. Sorry, can't help you.
This might make you a better golfer.
Yeah.
Interesting one. I don't know. I think Ridley's a really clever operator. I'm really impressed by him. The re-inclusion of Angel Cabrera last year aside, I think he's a shrewd operator. I think that he'll handle things like Tiger and Phil's absence, for example, very easily. I think he'll deflect that quite smartly. I'm not expecting any major announcements from him, but I've been wrong before. I've probably been wrong in this podcast. Who knows? Right, before we get on to Podder and Golf Tenable, gentlemen, very quickly, just to finish up, your favourite, and for balance, least favourite things about the Masters. One thing you like and one thing you'd change.
I'll
Lewis,
go first. Yeah, the first thing that I like is the app, because you get to see every single shot that has been hit in the tournament. Absolutely
Love
fantastic.
that app.
You can spend hours on that, no problem at all. So that would be one thing that I like. One thing that I dislike is when someone withdraws and on Twitter you see, who's the first reserve? Who's getting in? Honestly, the whole time with Tiger, like in previous years when it's been getting up to the tournament, and you think that's, well, I don't think, but people were going, oh, that's so unfair, and whoever is the first reserve is. It doesn't work like that. There's no reserves in the Masters. You're either invited or you're not.
Yeah. I have a similar thing when someone says, oh, these old guys are just taking someone else's place.
No, exactly.
They're
that.
taking their own.
Yes, they have been invited. If they wanted to invite 200 golfers, they would,
Yes.
but they haven't.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay, I
That's
like
my
that. James?
Mine is the opening credits and the theme song.
That's your favourite thing, I hope.
I absolutely love it.
Otherwise, my God, that was a handbrake turn of a podcast right there. Get that piano away.
Yeah. No, I love that. It just symbolises the start of the week, and like every time you hear it at the start of the broadcast as well, it gets me excited. But the thing that I hate the most is the commentators talking about how undulating the bloody fairways are and how the TV doesn't do it justice.
It's hillier than it looks on TV.
Yeah, it's hillier than it looks. It drives me absolutely mental. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, like it. There's actually a better Masters song than the piano theme tune that everyone's quite familiar with, which, by the way, was written by Dave Loggins, and there are words to go alongside it. So the song's called Augusta, and CBS, I guess, took the piano music and used that for their coverage. But the song's called Augusta. It's by Dave Loggins, who is the cousin of Kenny Loggins, whose song I'm All Right famously featured on Caddyshack with the Gopher.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
there
really
you
good
go.
trivia. Yeah, I like that.
Kenny
Well done.
Loggins, who
Brilliant.
did Footloose as well.
Oh, gosh.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good family.
Knowledge.
But
What
a
about
better
you?
song, sorry, is the other one that they use in I think it's the CBS coverage, but it's by a group called ES Posthumous, who specialise in big cinematic arena style sounds. You'll have heard some of their stuff on NFL coverage if you watch that. But they have a bit of music called The Thrill of Victory. If you've got Spotify, after you've listened to the rest of this pod, go and listen to The Thrill of Victory. It'll get you going. I'll put it that way. It absolutely gets the heart rate pumping. My favourite part about Masters Week, let me see, getting to play it. My favourite part, I think, is this is something that you'll only understand if you've been, but it's the smell.
All right.
It's like the world's
Azaleas.
greatest. Well,
Everywhere.
Azaleas famously don't have a scent, James.
Wouldn't know, never smelt one.
You know, we'll come round to my garden. There's loads. It's the smell of the pine straw.
Oh, is it?
Especially when the rain hits it or the morning dew hits it, and the smell is just. It's like the nicest car air freshener you've ever experienced. If you like the smell of Christmas trees, you'll love it. So I love that. My least favourite thing is probably
Pimento cheese sandwich.
it's actually controversial. It is the food. There's not a huge amount there for me. I love the fact that they've got their own tastes and whatnot, and I love how cheap it is, but I'm lactose intolerant, so the peach ice cream doesn't work for me.
good.
The pimento cheese sandwich doesn't work for me. The egg mayo sandwich doesn't work for me. It's like, lads, I've come all this way. Can you just get me a better sandwich?
So
A
basically,
patty supper, please.
That's the pie supper. Well, when you win it, you can have that. So there you go.
Right.
get Josh on the tasting menu.
Yeah.
I think he
I'm sure
will be, actually.
I-
Josh
sent
probably
me a
at this very
message.
moment, he could well be.
He
yeah.
sent me a message this morning that just simply said, "Oh my God, the pancakes." So, and I could only nod, going, "Yep."
Yeah.
Look out for that feature on
100%.
bunker.co.uk.
That and well, it's going to be approaching lunchtime there just now. If he hasn't had the fish tacos today, I'll be disappointed in him. The fish tacos are chef's
Exceptional.
kiss. Anyway, right, gents, let's move on to predictions. That segues us nicely into a new season of Podder of Merit. Lewis, you have the honour, and then it is yours truly, and then it is you, James, for the Masters to open season, whatever the fuck it is now. Who are you picking this week, Lewis? Everyone is in play.
I am picking Jon Rahm for
Yep.
reasons previously discussed. He's playing some fantastic golf, hitting loads of greens. You need to do that at Augusta because it's hard to get up and down. He has won the Masters already. I think he will do it again.
Okay, I'm picking Bryson DeChambeau. Again, I think I laid out the case earlier. If you have skipped to this part of the podcast, that's not my problem. Go back and listen to my rationale earlier, and that's all I've got to say about that. James.
I'm going to back myself and go with Jake Knapp.
Oh my word! Wow.
Yeah.
For the Masters.
If this comes
of
off,
all the golfers, yeah.
if this comes off, James, I'm going to be so impressed.
Yeah.
But it won't. So I won't.
It won't.
Anyway,
It's a nice
okay.
idea. I
So
like you.
Jon Rahm plays Bryson, plays Jake Knapp in the first event of Podder. Let's just call it 2000 or 2026, shall we?
Yeah,
We'll
do
finish
it,
up
do it.
our Masters preview, and thank you for making it this far, ladies and gents, with Lewis Golf Tenable.
Yes.
Now, I
God.
bossed this a couple of weeks ago when it was Masters
You've been on a
related.
really good run.
So I'm fully expecting, if this is Masters related, I love my chances. And that, ladies and gents, is what's called pride before a fall. Laptop's closed, James. Lewis.
Well, yes,
hit us.
this is indeed Masters related, as you would
Piece
expect. And I
of
have
piss.
had my head in the Masters media guide, and they have an interesting stat, which is average score per round from the Masters. So I want you to tell
you
me
would find that interesting.
the 10 golfers. Do you want to repeat that, Michael? That wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
You heard.
They put it in the media guide. It must be
Yeah, I
interesting.
know, yeah.
The
Only
10
you would find it
golfers.
interesting.
Do you want me to read out the question here? The
Don't worry
10
against
golfers with the best scoring averages at the Masters that have played 25 rounds or more. So we can't just have someone who's played it once.
25 rounds or more.
25 rounds
So
or
a
more.
minimum of 7 appearances making the cut all the time.
Yes, I would like you. The 10 golfers with the best
So in
scoring
other words, what you're
averages.
saying, wait, that's right, isn't it?
Hang on.
4 times 6 is 24. So they'd have to have played it a minimum of 7 times.
Yeah, but then they could have some where they've missed the cut, and yeah, but then if they miss lots of cuts, they're
So it
probably
is a
not
minimum
gonna
of
be
7
on
Masters
this
appearances.
list. It's 25 rounds.
Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah.
No.
What? 6-time champion?
Do you want me to? I'll get his get the list up here. It's not
Sorry,
on it.
scoring average.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
per round.
hang on. When he did win it, he won it at even par 1 year.
Scoring average. I suppose he's played a lot of rounds as an older
Yeah.
man. Okay.
Get my list up.
Just call that a mulligan.
Yeah, you can take a mulligan. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, because when
I mean,
think-
Tiger, surely.
Yeah.
I'll just like contextualize this. So yeah, Jack. Again, what's probably gone against him is that he has played 163 rounds.
Right, okay.
So
Okay.
that's a lot. And
And
a lot of those,
them post 50.
as we're saying, yeah. So his average was 71.98. Now that is give or take 0.2 outside the top 10.
Yeah, that's
You
not
have
good.
said Tiger,
That's tough.
who is correct. He is in third
Okay.
with 71.3. So it gets very bunched in this leaderboard.
Phil. I mean, Phil's made the
Phil's
most money.
there. Yeah, well done, Phil.
So I'm now
Fifth.
thinking like career money list from the Masters. And for that reason, I'm going to
Oh.
say Rory McIlroy.
Rory is there just below Phil by
Because if you think about it,
Yeah.
money equates to
you're getting into
performance.
it now. You're getting
Yeah,
into it
yeah.
now. Well
So-
done. Yeah.
Listen, Justin Rose has to be there.
Yes, he is well tied for 9th, so he is my last name on this
Tied for
list.
9th.
Is he? Okay, tied for
Yes.
9th. Right, we've got 4.
You've got 4. You've had your mulligan.
We've had our mulligan. Is Tiger the highest one so far?
Yeah, so you've got 3rd, 5th, 6th, and as I say, Justin Rose has just snuck in.
I'm desperately racking my brain trying to think what the career money list looks like. Because that rules out a lot of the older guys who, again, will start to shoot bigger numbers.
Yeah.
Not 80s or whatever, but shoots bigger numbers, like 73s and 74s in their 50s. Jordan Spieth's an absolutely amazing
Jordan
shout.
Spieth is top of the list. Well done, James.
Absolutely superb
Tate.
shout.
He's actually the only man who's under 71, average 70.98, which unfortunately this year might not be
And
the
that
case
may
for
be the
much
first time
longer.
on this podcast that we've spoken about him in the Masters preview. Which in
Yeah,
itself is-
gosh, I know. Well, yeah, apart from
The
as
Danny
you,
Willett stuff.
the Aston answered sleepless nights.
DJ. Oh, controversial. Up until a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have had a second thought about including them. Can we keep him in the locker?
Here's who I've got on my
Okay.
brain at the minute. Sergio,
Definitely, I've got Sergio there as well.
Bubba,
Oh, yeah.
and DJ.
Sergio, Bubba, DJ, all under 50 years old, but all in their 40s. I'll tell you where I'm at. I've got Adam Scott.
Yeah.
I've got Jason Day. And
That might be it.
they're not all Aussies.
That might be it, you know. We might
Right.
have just said all 5 of them.
Well, I think Adam Scott feels like a fairly safe bet.
Yeah.
So let's go Adam Scott.
No,
Not Scotty?
Oh my God.
72.6. He's played 90 rounds.
Finally found his weakness.
On this completely made up list that I've done. Well, not made up, it is real, but it's.
Did DJ not have like one of the highest under par wins though? Like minus 18 or minus 20 or something like that.
Don't look at me.
I'm trying to think. Has Scottie played 24 rounds? That's why I was asking the question at the start about. So how many starts is that minimum?
No.
He's not, has he?
not.
There's no way he's played 25 competitive rounds.
Not at Augusta.
You're right. Scottie's not on the list.
Bubba. Jeez, Bubba. What a shout. But he's in his 40s now. I can't help but feel he's got 72s and 73s. Sergio, I mean, the reason I've paused is because of the big number that he put up a couple of years ago, but he's had enough low numbers, so should we go with Sergio? Sergio Garcia.
Sergio's missed out. He is on 73.1 average.
We're on our final goal.
Struggling here.
This is brutal.
Yeah, well, look.
How many have we got to get?
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get.
Jeez, oh.
And
surely DJ's in there.
Who are the big names over the last 10, 15 years?
So if we go from 2015.
Spieth, Willett. Oh, Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed.
Patrick Reed is on there. Well done.
Yeah.
Just on the names that you've got, he's between Rory and Rose.
Hideki. Matsuyama.
I feel like Jason Day is a good shout because he was on
Rahm must have played that number of events. Jon Rahm
23,
turned pro
25,
in 16. That's 10 years ago.
22.
Let's say he didn't make his first Masters. That's still Jon Rahm.
Yeah.
Jon Rahm is second on the list.
Oh, nice.
Exactly
number one?
71.
No, we do. That was Spieth.
Spieth was number 1, yeah.
Yeah, Jon Rahm. All day.
Okay, so you've got the top 3, and then you're missing number 4. You've got 5 and 6. You're missing 7. You've got 8 and Patrick Reed, and then you're missing someone who's tied with Justin Rose.
So we've got 7 in total.
Yes, doing pretty well.
Well, okay, let's think. Oh, Louis Oosthuizen.
Can I just throw something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Of these 3 names, I don't think you've said any of them yet.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, can I have another clue?
What would you? Just any clue at all?
Are they all American?
No.
Are any of them American?
Yes.
Okay. That's not really any help. So, Jason Day, surely to God. Yeah.
I would have thought so. He always seems to be thereabouts.
Because he said we've not said these names yet, and I feel like I've said Jason Day.
Oh, that's true. I reckon if you said Jason Day, you'd be like 71 or something like that.
Oh, God almighty. I hate this game.
You were loving this game a couple of weeks back.
Tommy Fleetwood? No.
When was the last time Faldo played?
I mean, it can't be him.
Is there like an old boy in there at all?
No.
No, it's all young guys,
Okay.
man.
So it's got to be from that kind of
Golfers in the last 20
2000s.
years.
Yeah.
Give you another
Yep.
clue here, and this should narrow it down, I reckon.
Okay.
This is one of the Americans is not playing this year, famously,
One of the Americans is not playing this year,
but he's on this list.
famously, so it must be a lid golfer.
He has played 42 rounds. His best is a 65 at the Masters.
Bubba Watson.
Active player.
Is Brooks playing?
Brooks is in the field, so it's
Yeah.
not him.
42 rounds.
Yep.
That's not Bubba. Bubba's played more than that. So 42 rounds is basically 10 years without missing the cut. Actually, it could be Bubba.
Could be
But
But
we
you
said
already said him.
Yeah. It could be DJ.
Oh, we said him. Who are the Americans on Live, James? Who are the Americans on Live? And who's famously not playing? Jeez, oh man, this is killing me. Who's famously not playing? Tiger, Phil. I am blanking so badly.
So am I. I'm trying to go through 2015 all the way down to 25.
This guy's in all the lists, and we do them as well. It's like number of names not playing the Masters this year. You won't believe this player is not in the Masters, and then it's a photo.
We don't
with
do
it.
that.
No, we don't do that. But you know the style that I'm talking about.
I know exactly who does.
Yes.
We don't do that.
We don't do that.
Because we're not lame. Jeez.
Right, forget
But
him.
we are struggling.
Right, forget him for a minute, right?
Okay.
The player.
Give me the nationalities.
So we've got an American in fourth.
Is there a Canadian in there?
No, we've got an American in fourth. Then we've got the American, as previously discussed. And then we have an Australian, who you have not yet mentioned.
Cam Smith.
Correct. 71.76. Very good.
Well done.
Going
Americans.
around Augusta. Two Americans.
Two Americans, and one of them is a guy you won't believe is not playing.
Just goes to show I don't read these other websites.
Yeah.
Maybe I should. Nah, I shouldn't.
No.
Famously not playing. Famously not playing.
Yeah.
Famously. This is painful.
It is painful.
We're going to have to call it fairly soon. We can't just
Yeah,
sit
Yeah, no, Will's got like a
Right.
producer. Will has a family to go home to.
Go through.
I'm struggling to even think of names.
Of any golfer from America.
No,
There's the other guy's probably more obvious.
Just
but he is
Justin Thomas?
more obvious. He's in the field.
Yeah.
Oh, the other guy.
But the fact that you've just said that tells me it's not him.
It's not him.
American Ryder Cup team. Who played in the Ryder Cup team?
For listeners who aren't watching, my head is in my hands.
Bryson, Morikawa. Nope.
Keep going.
Harris English. Is this really obvious?
Yeah,
oh my god.
I think I've made it obvious for the other one that he's not said
Is it
as
not
well.
Morikawa?
I just said Morikawa
It's
like
not
10
Morikawa.
seconds ago. Morikawa, Harris English,
You're on the right line.
Ben Griffin,
Getting there. Keep
Keegan
going.
Bradley,
Further away. Colder.
Jason Duffner.
Very much colder.
Why can't I remember the American Ryder Cup team? Didn't see much of them, I suppose. Oh my god. I've absolutely blanked.
So have I.
Oh, this is painful.
This is
Are we tapping out here? Come on, James.
This is torture.
This is torture. Right. I'm going to open up, the guy who's fourth is a two-time major champion.
From America?
Yeah.
I just said Justin Thomas and you give me a look.
Yeah, because it's not
Right.
him.
Brooks. Bryson.
He's two, and he's certainly won two. I don't think he's won any more than that. I'm certain he hasn't. I'm doubting myself here.
Two-time major winner from America, like John Daly.
No.
This is really bad.
This is painful.
Oh, stop making noises, Lewis. Oh, God. It's disrupting my flow. That's the problem.
All I can think of Justin fucking Thomas. I can't think.
Scottie Scheffler. Who won majors last year?
The year before.
Who won majors the year before? 2024. We had Bryson. We had Scottie Scheffler. We had...
Oh!
Xander Schauffele!
Yes!
Oh,
Thank
no!
God!
Xander Schauffele!
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Goodness
Oh,
me.
Jesus
That
Christ.
is fucking...
That is
Oh,
awful.
that was painful.
That is so bad.
That was...
Which leaves Patrick Cantley.
No.
But it's not him.
It's not him, because he's playing this guy, isn't
So that
playing...
was the number 4 that we got.
Yeah, you
Who's
got the
the guy
number
that's not
4.
playing? Who's famously not playing?
He's got to be a relatively big
It has
name.
to be Liv.
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to be Liv.
No, he
He's
doesn't.
not
Is
on
he
He
not?
doesn't
Liv.
need to be Liv, no.
Wyndham Clark or something.
No. Not
Webb
Wyndham
Simpson.
Clark. Not him. Bigger than him.
Bigger. From America.
Yeah, I mean, more
Is he a major
popular. No.
He's not won a major.
No.
Has he played in the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, a while back. I think, did he? Yeah.
A while back.
Yeah, but he's still playing.
There's not many Americans that have played in the Ryder Cup
Has he played in the Ryder Cup? Yeah,
without a
I think
major. Oh, jeez. This is painful. Ah. Why can't we get this?
I don't know.
Ricky?
Yeah.
Ricky Fowler! Oh, my
Thank
God!
God almighty for that.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
My brain hurts.
Peepsman.
Famously.
Because there's one of the top-ranked players not playing. We spoke about him last week, didn't we?
Wow, Ricky Fowler. Well done, Michael.
Goodness
Oh,
me.
dearie me. That was...
Yeah, that was a real return to form for Golf Tenable. That's what the game's all about. Ums and ahs and talking about John Daly and
the
everything
slope
else.
rating on that particular game is...
Yeah,
right
well,
up
you
there.
were getting them
Wow.
far too easily, so I thought I'd chuck a difficult one in, a real
Yeah.
thinker.
That was tough.
And
Thanks
it
for
got
that,
you
Lewis. That's
thinking. You're
completely
welcome.
ruined my day.
Yeah, that's all
But
right.
we got it, though.
Yeah,
We
you did
got
get it. Well
So,
done.
yeah,
Yeah, give you a
eventually-
mulligan and Nicholas,
eventually.
because that
Yeah,
did
yeah.
seem
Quite a
bit-
few
yeah.
assists.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
Still.
Couple layups.
Listen, layups.
A
You
win's
got
a
there
win.
eventually.
Wins a win.
Yeah,
we'll
wins
take
a
it.
win. Yeah, look,
We'll
goes down
take
in
it.
history books as a big
I
W.
got a
so
couple
well done.
right. That's
Well done,
also
James.
Yeah,
impro-
Jordan Spieth.
That's
Good
an
shout.
improvement.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, you do
We'll
well.
discuss off air. For now, thank you very much for making it this far. That was a hard last 10 minutes. Really hard last 10 minutes. But yeah, listen, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Enjoy every single minute of the Masters.
you.
It's a special week and something that we should all just chill out and enjoy. None of your snarkiness on social media. No emails correcting grammar. Got one of them at the weekend.
Did you?
Just everyone just chill out, stop fighting with each other, and enjoy the undisputed beauty of Augusta National. It's a special week, and I, for one, cannot wait to see it. Remember, you can get in touch with us at The Bunkered Pod on X, facebook.com/The Bunkered Podcast. Email us, letters@bunkered.co.uk. You know where to find the hub on the Bunkered website. There'll be lots of great content going up there throughout the week. On Wednesday, don't quite know how this is going to work, but we will be doing an Instagram Q&A. We'll figure it out as we go. And later in the week, I believe on Friday and again on Saturday, we will be doing a Spaces on X, which is basically a bit like a live podcast where you can tune in and you can hear us struggle in real time to grasp with the latest golf stories of the day. So lots and lots going on across all of the Bunker platforms over the next week, as you would expect and as we should, because the Masters deserves it. So, ladies, gents, boys, girls, dogs, cats, guinea pigs, etc., enjoy the next week. We will be back properly this time next week to discuss everything that has unfolded, and hey, who knows, maybe Bob McIntyre in a green jacket. Until then, thanks for listening. It's bye-bye for now.